Have you ever stopped to think about how your priorities shift as you get older? In your younger years, you were probably surrounded by friends, always going to events, attending gatherings, and feeling like you had to keep up with the social scene. But what happens when you hit 70? Suddenly, those once essential friendships start to lose their appeal. You realize you don't need to constantly chase after people for validation or feel like you're running a social marathon just to feel fulfilled. Here's the truth. You don't need friends after 70. I know, it sounds like a bold statement. You might be thinking, how could I live without friends? But when you really think about it, maybe it's not about the quantity of friendships you maintain, but the quality of life you create for yourself. In this video, we're going to dive deep into 6 powerful reasons why friendships might not be as essential as they once were. We'll explore how embracing independence, focusing on your personal peace, and rediscovering your own happiness can completely transform your life. This isn't about loneliness or shutting yourself off from the world. This is about living life on your own terms, free from the expectations, obligations, and drama that often come with social ties. What if letting go of the pressure to maintain friendships wasn't just a relief, but actually a way to reclaim your freedom and live a more fulfilling, happier life? Stay with me until the end, because what you're about to hear could change the way you look at friendships and happiness in your later years. Ready to embrace a new kind of freedom? Let's jump into it. Number 1, time becomes your most valuable resource. As you get older, time becomes precious. In your younger years, there always seemed to be more of it. But by 70, every day counts, and your time is the most valuable resource you have. So why waste it on friendships that don't bring you joy? Take Richard's experience. At his early 80s, he had a busy social life filled with dinner parties and group outings. But soon, he realized these social gatherings had become obligations, not pleasures. Conversations felt repetitive, and his time was being consumed by negativity. Richard made a change. He stopped saying yes out of habit and started spending time on things that truly brought him happiness: reading, walking, learning. His life became simpler, lighter, and far more fulfilling. 2. Fewer friendships equals fewer disappointments. One of life's toughest lessons is realizing that not every friend is truly there for you. Over the years, friendships fade. Some vanish when you need them most. Some are one-sided. And when you reach 70, you begin to realize that less really is more, especially when it comes to friendships. Take William's story. At 78, he had seen friendships come and go. He realized he was the one always putting in the effort, and those relationships never seemed mutual. But then he had an epiphany. He was done with that. By cutting ties with those who didn't reciprocate, he freed himself from disappointment. He focused on what mattered most: himself. You don't need to hold on to relationships that feel like a drain. Choose quality over quantity. 3. Peace becomes more valuable than socializing. As you age, something shifts. Peace becomes far more valuable than socializing. In your younger years, you might have thrived in the noise of parties and gatherings, but as time passes, silence starts to feel like a gift. Many friendships come with responsibilities: phone calls, texts, invitations you're expected to accept. But here's the truth. You don't need to feel obligated to be constantly available. You've earned the right to decide how you spend your time. Take Margaret's story. At 74, she used to have a packed social calendar: lunches, calls, holiday gatherings. But as the years passed, she realized these interactions were draining rather than uplifting. One day, she decided to let go of the pressure to keep up. She embraced the quiet and rediscovered peace. No more unnecessary social commitments. She started enjoying her walks, reading books she'd been meaning to get to, and finding solitude was far from loneliness. It was freedom. 4. You don't need to prove yourself anymore. Remember those years when you tried so hard to fit in? You spent time chasing social approval, trying to impress co-workers, and keeping up with the latest trends just to feel accepted. But here's the thing. You've already done that. By the time you hit your 70s, you've built your legacy. You no longer need to live up to anyone else's expectations. Your value doesn't come from others' opinions. It comes from within. Take Harold, for example. He spent most of his life climbing the corporate ladder, surrounded by people who were more acquaintances than true friends. When he retired, he realized that most of those connections were built on convenience, not meaning. Once he stopped chasing after approval, he began spending more time doing what he loved, pursuing hobbies, rediscovering passions, and most importantly, embracing his freedom. No more forced small talk, no more social obligations. He felt lighter, freer, and happier. You deserve that same peace. 5. True companionship starts with yourself. One of the biggest myths about aging is that you need a large group of friends to be happy. But here's the truth. The most important companionship you can have is with yourself. Take Eleanor's journey. She used to think she needed to fill her days with people to feel fulfilled. But she soon realized, despite being socially active, she often felt drained rather than uplifted. When she started spending more time alone, she felt happier and more at peace than ever before. She didn't need anyone else to make her feel complete. She already was. And the best part? When you embrace your own company, the right relationships naturally come into your life. 6. Letting go opens the door to a more fulfilling life. The most freeing thing you can do in your 70s is let go. Let go of relationships that no longer serve you. Let go of the pressure to stay socially active. Let go of the idea that your value is tied to how many friends you have. Take James, for example. In his late 70s, he realized that staying busy didn't equate to staying fulfilled. He decided to stop forcing friendships that felt shallow and instead focused on what mattered most, himself. What happened? He felt lighter, happier, and more at peace than ever. He embraced a life that was truly his own, and you can do the same. So now that you've heard these 6 powerful reasons, what do you think? You don't need a long list of friends to live a happy, fulfilling life. The most important relationships are the ones you build with yourself. If you've already started letting go of friendships that didn't add value to your life, or if this video has made you rethink your priorities, we'd love to hear from you. Comment below and share one thing you've learned from this video. Remember, when you embrace your own company and focus on what truly brings you joy, you'll unlock a new level of freedom and peace. If you found this video helpful, like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss out on any of our future videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.